would use a dildo that had two silk testicles on her lady lovers.
What? Who puts testicles on their dildos?
Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday, and then on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. We appreciate you joining us. Now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go. Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Waywut. My name is Darrell, and here I am with the guy that has the electric toothbrush in his nightstand that no one is supposed to touch. Jason.
It has special
It's because
attachments.
you put it in your butt. You put it in your butt. That's why.
Like I said, special attachments.
All right. Well, I didn't say so beforehand. I decided to mix it up a little bit, but I'm in charge of today's episode today. And before I get started, I am going to have a rant about the greatest debate of all men. You know, the men always have this debate, and it is sharply divides men into one camp or the other. And it's not Democrats and Republicans. It's not standing up to wipe or sitting down to wipe. What is your guess?
Ass or titties?
Wrong.
Oh,
another
okay.
debate, but this is not as divided. But ass and titties, that's got people wishy-wash. They go on either side depending on the girl they know. Now, if I recall, and I'm certain that I do, but maybe you've changed your mind. But Jason, if you could suck your own dick, would you do it?
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah. Okay, I should have went there. That's a very good. Yes, I would fucking do it.
All right. Jason and I fall on different sides of this debate that has been plaguing men from the time that they realized they could tug one out until the point where they're, until they're old, sad, cranky men where their favorite part just lies dead between their legs. As soon as you can reach it until it's useless, men are divided on this. Now, this is a very nuanced debate, at least for the freaks that would actually do this to themselves. Now, I fall in the camp that I would not do it for one main reason. I don't want to suck dick.
Great point, GL. Great point.
That's it. There's no nuance to my side.
So there's a line, though.
No, there's no line.
You'll jerk a dick off, but you won't suck a dick.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
All right, but just if you're going to expand besides me just not wanting to suck dick, there are other reasons. How does finishing work? Do you blast it in your own face and just try not to get it in your hair? Do you spit? Or are you just so happy to avoid that cleanup that you just chug your own goo?
So, after deep thought, what I've decided is to give you a nice time.
Exactly. Much like sucking dick, none of those appeal to me. None of those are good options.
No. You would have you would have two ways to know. I mean, it would be you and you would know. So you would be able to stop.
But wait, all right, say the only way to do this is that you curl up on your back and so your dick's on top. You're not going to be able to get out of the firing range fast enough.
Affirmative, we have incoming.
And at that point, you might as well just jerk off.
Okay.
All right. For the few women that do listen to us, be grateful that y'all don't even have the distant potential to do this because these debates can be heated. Those dirty cocksuckers that would go down on themselves. Are you okay?
I'm good.
All right. Well, those dirty cocksuckers that would go down on themselves refuse to believe that in my guess, that most men would not want to suck their own dick. They will insist that you are lying, that of course you would try it because, that's how they cope. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not weird because I know you would try it. Because guys who wish they could suck themselves off don't want to accept the fact that the majority of men have no desire to suck a dick. When you boil it down to what freaks like Jason really want, they want to suck dick.
No.
They'll be like, it's different because it's your own. Unless it has two heads or shoots fire, it's just a dick, and I don't want it in my mouth. Now that being said, if a gay man said he wanted to do this, then more power to him, because I assume that gay man is cool with sucking dick. You know what? Great. Good for you. Now, I'm not saying that every guy that would go down on himself is gay, or every gay guy would go down on themselves. But I am saying that if you're willing to do that to yourself, you're a bit further on the gay spectrum than other heterosexual men. Now here we go. Here's the part you've been waiting for. Guys like Jason, who's already done this, will argue, but you use your hand, so you're basically giving the dude a hand job. That is a matter of necessity. We are a civilized people that don't go around sticking our dicks into whatever we can grab just to get that relief. When you're young, it's because you get bored or you're scratching your balls and one thing leads to another. Or if you're old like me and you're just having trouble falling asleep, or you have an important decision to make and you want to make sure you clear away all the baby batter so you make the best decision, it's a need that you need to take care of, and that this right here is the easiest way to get to that. The need outweighs the ickiness of yanking on a wiener. But guys like myself, when we have the option for someone else to do it instead, we reach over to the nightstand, we grab our phone, we turn the flashlight on, and we put it right behind our boner and use it to shine the cock signal on the ceiling. And then that wonderful lady that's laying next to you wakes up and helps you slay that boner demon. But if you really want to spice that up, you can always cue up the Batman theme song from the 60s or the Danny Elfman theme from the Tim Burton Batman movie. They go really well with it. It's a great way to wake them up.
Do not wake me up like that, ever.
I would never wake you up like that. That is reserved for my wife. The love of my life. She gets the boner signal. And it's so funny because every time I do it, she wakes up and goes, okay. All right, Jason. I will allow you a moment for your rebuttal.
There is no rebuttal. Just if I could do it, I would do it.
You dirty cocksucker.
There's nothing about it. It's just if I could do it and it relieves my hand for one day, then yeah. But I hopefully you would just be able to bend over and do it and not have to lay down and do the whole trick, flipping your legs up over your head.
I don't see there being any way that would, one, that'd be comfortable, and two, that wouldn't take away the fact of being like, oh my God, I got a dick in my mouth. That would kind of ruin it. Not, oh yeah, I'm getting my dick sucked. No, I'm sucking dick.
Your own dick, though.
That doesn't matter. God, what was it that was like, oh, God, it makes me think of, I can't even think of the movies. Because it's your dog. It's the same thing. It makes no sense.
Oh, on Road Trip.
Yeah, because it's your dog.
Oh, because it's your dog.
You know.
Oh, my God.
Well, speaking of desperately doing whatever we can to get off, let's dive into today's episode.
Oh, boy.
We will be looking at sex toys throughout history.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
It should not be that surprising that today's episode is going to start way, way, way back in the long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Back when entertainment was looking at clouds, looking at fire, and getting your rocks off. Or, in this case, using a rock to get off. In 2005, some researchers from Tübingen, I think it's German, I don't know, Tübingen University were exploring and researching the Hohlfels cave near Ulm, Germany. They found 14 fragments of polished siltstone that, when assembled, became a 7.5-inch penis.
Oh.
Yeah. In the super duper ancient times, it was, it's more typical to usually find sculptures of female genitalia or nudes, because they usually have something to do with fertility, but maybe it was porn back then. I don't know. But it's way more typical to find those. Finding wiener sculptures that are, this old, it's kind of crazy because, and then even more so, once they saw how the business end of this stone wiener was designed and polished, a theory began to emerge that this was an ancient dildo from 28,000 BCE.
Wow.
A Stone Age dildo.
Literally.
This one is special because they were actually able to reassemble the entire thing. But there have been incomplete and fragmented sculptures of what is suspected to be dildos dating all the way back to 40,000 BCE.
Damn.
Now, I don't know how this measures up with the creation of fire or the wheel.
Or what came first.
But if dildos beat those out, that will make me proud as a human being.
Priorities.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to go ahead and warn you right now. Most of this episode is about dildos.
The people demand rubber dicks!
Why, you may ask? Because in ancient history, and lots of other bits of history, if men wanted to get off by, they went and got a prostitute. Or in the caveman days, they probably just popped a woman in the head of the club and just took what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But also, men tend to need things that are softer. And those softer things don't last as long as rocks. I'm sure most cavemen had a special pumpkin with a hole cut into it, or an ancient gym sock, or something along those lines. And it couldn't stand the test of time the way a rock can. In France and Eastern Europe, they have found phallic objects dating to 28,000 all the way up to 11,000 BCE made out of bones, antlers, and stone.
Damn.
Yeah, these were decorated and in some cases even marked with like scars and other identifying marks. Like they were like some caveman like with a bow. He's sitting there like chipping it off. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that time that saber-toothed tiger caught me on my shaft," and then like cut that into it. These pieces, they think that they could be for rituals, but judging by the size and polish, there is a strong possibility that they were sex toys. But it's hard for them to tell because it ain't like they can smell it. Just yep, that was used. It's too old. There have been wooden and bone wieners found in Scandinavia that date from 6,000 to 4,000 BCE. These were smaller at around just 4 inches long. So, Jason, maybe your ancestors
still pretty big, yeah.
Your ancestors might have been Scandinavian.
You got 3 inches on me. No wonder I can't suck my own dick.
around 1150 BCE, a scroll was found that had a dirty comic on it. It showed a lady straddling an upside down vase as her guy watched. This is documentation of artificial stimulation. So we're getting away from the theorized sex toys and actually getting into documented instances of people using objects. Well, not this case. This one, it's hard to call this one pornography, but it's a documented case of using something to manually stimulate yourself.
Okay, can you describe the vase thing again? You said the vase was upside down.
It's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. Oh. It's an upside down like vase thing. It doesn't even really look like a vase thing, but then this lady's like straddle on it, and you can tell it's going where it needs to go, and the dude's off the side pointing like, "Yeah, that's my woman," or something.
Okay.
But this was uncovered in Egypt. This scroll. And Egypt has had penis sculptures, numerous ones that have been uncovered. But there's never been anything like the comic documenting that these penis sculptures were used like dildos. What this comic tells me is that we might be seeing a similar issue that I theorized for the lack of ancient sex toys for guys. But in this case, we have the concept of getting yourself off documented, where ladies using a vase. So maybe Egyptian ladies kept home decor around that they could just shove up their cooters, anytime they get off. Or it could also be that a lot of people use vegetables, and those don't stay fresh forever.
Oh, and they could break.
Either way, diddling yourself is now officially documented. That somebody cramming something up there. But say you don't buy into what some pervert in Egypt drew. And you're like, that's just like some pervert that just drew a dirty picture. Well, then would you believe it if I told you that there's a story from the Bible? The prophet Ezekiel wrote his book of the Bible in 592 to 570 BCE while he was held captive in Babylon. In Ezekiel 16:17, and I'm doing this in normal English, I'm not doing that old English bullshit. You also took the fine jewelry I gave you, the jewelry made of my gold and silver, and you made yourself male idols and engaged in prostitution with them. What that means, if you can't tell, is that they use the precious metals to make gold and silver dildos for sex acts. And in Babylon, prostitution was kind of a big thing. So, and one thing that I kind of find about this, now that I'm bringing the Bible up into it, is what is it with religions acting like female orgasms are sins?
Is Jeopardy!
Because they're not supposed to get joy from it.
Well, and I think
childbearing.
I have a theory on this. I think that your loud fire and brimstone preachers that have really small dicks and they go home and they screw their wives and they leave them completely unsatisfied. And then they try to justify it, saying that God made sure that he was a holy man and wouldn't give his woman any of those sinful orgasms.
Time to sound the alarms!
That's my guess.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. Make himself feel better about his own failures.
Well, I got a side note about the Babylonians because I just thought it was kind of crazy while I was doing the research. But Babylonians were some real freaky fuckers. Herodotus wrote that it was a widespread practice for all women to sell themselves to strangers at the Temple of Ishtar at least one time in their lives.
So it was common practice for somebody to go prostitute
at least once. They had to, at least once go sell your pussy.
It's like going to college,
I guess. As a father of daughters, I think this custom is disgusting. But if I did not have daughters, I would probably think it was pretty fucking cool. But fatherhood changes a man. Speaking of ancient freaks, let's move on to the most famous of ancient freaks, the Greeks.
Oh, yes.
Around 500 BCE, we get the first documentation of sex toys being sold. And it comes from ancient Greece. And they called them Olisbos. So that's what a dildo was back then, Olisbos. These were commonly made from softened leather that was then stuffed with wool. They would then polish the leather dingling for smooth entry.
You mean licked it?
No, they polished it. Now, if that doesn't sound like smooth entry to you, just polished leather, because God knows it does not sound smooth at all. About 150 years later, there are documents that talk about using olive oil as lube.
Oh, that makes sense. Pretty slippery.
That's just when it was documented. I don't think for 150 years they were like trying to cram something dry up there and going, why don't it work? And the other reason I imagine that they were using olive oil way before that is because the Greeks love their butt stuff. Love it. And if you're from Greece and you disagree with me, study history. They're all about the butt stuff. Now, if leather wasn't your thing, you had options. Ezekiel wrote around 500 CE, so about 1,000 years later, about something called an Olisbos. We already talked about what Olisbos means. It's a dildo. But what is this colix thing? Colix was the ancient Greek term for bread. Put them together, and you have bread dildo. And it is just like it sounds like. It is bread that was baked and shaped into a penis.
Oh.
It is unknown. It is unknown if the bread dildo was for use or if it was like a novelty. So they aren't sure if ladies were like just cramming these up their cooters, or like back then, instead of like having gummy dicks at their bachelorette parties, they used bread dicks.
Oh, so that's how we got yeast infections.
the birthplace of the yeast infection. Yes. Way to go, Greeks.
God, first somebody fucks a monkey, and now somebody fucks bread.
Well, technically, somebody first would have fucked the bread. The monkey thing was way later.
Whatever, but you know what I mean.
Now, I do say that they would use the bread dicks at bachelorette parties, except this is ancient Greece, and they were all into the gay stuff. So it's highly likely that dudes were also using the Olisbos and Olisbos colixes more than the ladies. Some wife comes home and she's like, Hercules, why does my Olisbos smell like shit? Sorry, darling, I lost mine. Couldn't find mine.
It is shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh. Dildos were also part of the ancient Greece popular culture. Aristophanes, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, had a play that he wrote in 411 BCE called Lysistrata, where the titular character, who would have thought Lysistrata was a name, she suggests that the women in her neighborhood, in her community or whatever, go on a sex strike to force the end of the Peloponnesian War. And she says, part of her argument is she's like, hey, we're ladies. We'll be fine because we can find satisfaction with Olisbos. So essentially, we can cut them off and we'll be all right because we got dildos. In 3 BCE, there's a multi-part series of short stories / plays. They were called mimes by Herodotus. And in these shorts, he's got a couple of bits that are kind of like Sex and the City-ish.
Really?
Yeah, where this character named Metro is asking her friend where she got her big bright red dildo.
Pinch his ass.
And then the lady who has the dildos says something along the lines of, The men certainly don't have rams like these. And then Metro, in a later episode, she loved that ringing endorsement for the dildo so much. She, because there's this other story where she visits the cobbler that made the dildo, and it's like his little back room thing. It's all hidden, like at video stores with the curtain.
Oh, the beaded curtain.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I make shoes and dildos.
Only if you're asking. Are you asking?
They're Greece. They were Greeks. They were all asking. The ancient Greeks, however, are not the only historical freaks, because around that same time, ancient Indians were busting out the Kama Sutra.
Oh, yeah.
And in the Kama Sutra, it mentions toys several times. They mention toys made from wood, rubber, gold, silver, copper, ivory, and horn. They also take it a step further and suggest trying out different shaped dildos that are rounded, curved, shaped like flower buds, and even elephant trunks.
Wait, what?
Did you say wood?
Yeah, you could polish wood. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, you can do it.
No, I'm just thinking of a splinter. Oh, my goodness.
I know that's why you polish the wood. Polish the wood. Anyway. Sorry, I saw what I did there. I was like, oh, yeah. I think it's so funny you're put off by the wood thing, and I'm just like, there's some lady trying to cram Dumbo's trunk up her cooter, man. It's kind of fucked up.
It's all fucked up, Darrell.
I know, yeah. I mean, I'm more put off by the first one where it's like stone. Like they're shoving rocks at their junk.
They take whatever they can get.
Fortunately, the ancient Indians were about both sides getting in on the self-abuse and recommended fashioning can be known as the ancestor of the fleshlight by hollowing out a pumpkin or building a sleeve out of bamboo and moistening it with oil and ointment.
You say bamboo?
I'm just impressed that, at least now we have documentation of like guys getting toys.
I thought you were going to say something else, something the woman would have to put on.
Oh, that's not all. They also suggested that if a fellow couldn't get it up, then he should tie a dildo around his waist. We have the first documented strap-on.
God.
But around this same time in history, so right now we got freaky Greeks, freaky Indians. Well, China didn't want to be left out, and so they wanted to get in on the action. A tomb was uncovered near Shanghai about 20 years ago, I guess. And it was like a 2,000-year-old tomb. So it's right around all the same time. And they found bronze dildos and jade butt plugs.
At least they're pretty.
Yeah.
That's where that cat person got that idea for the butthole over the cat gem. You seen that thing?
What in the fuck are you talking about?
There's some sort of gem that goes over your cat's tail that hangs over their butthole so it covers up their butthole. So you see it as a gem.
I thought you were talking about like those furries that have like a butt plug that has a tail hanging off of it.
Oh, I'm sure they have those too.
No, they do have those.
Well, there you go.
All right. But the Chinese weren't done with just that. This tomb was around during the Han Dynasty, which was a period of time where homosexuality was not ostracized or ignored or anything like that. It was accepted. So someone during that time whipped up a double-headed dildo for the lesbians.
I know that two heads are better than one.
Now, I'm going to go on a side note real fast. And I admit right now, this comes from a place of ignorance. Why do some lesbians use dick-shaped dildos or just dildos, period? I mean, I kind of thought that, having something like that shoved inside of them wasn't very appealing. And that's why they went that route. And I'm certain that there are probably plenty of lesbians out there that don't want anything cock-shaped near their business. And I understand that. That makes sense. It's the ones that love ladies but still need a dick. And it just baffles me. Is it that they just don't like men as people, or do they just love tits that much?
I have to go with the second argument.
Well, you're not a lesbian. I'm not a lesbian. So any lesbians that can stomach all of our caveman talk, let us know in the comments, because I am generally curious about this. Because it just seems weird to me. I mean, like, if I knew a dude that liked getting a 6-inch dildo crammed up, getting pegged, dude, you're gay, or at least bi. I mean, then I would say the same thing to a lesbian that likes, some fucking forearm size mandingo dildo. I'd be like, okay, so you're bi. But like I said, I'm ignorant. Moving on from my ignorance, now we go to ancient Rome. And this puts us in 27 BCE all the way up to around 476 CE. Remember how I mentioned earlier that we weren't sure if some of the dick statues were for rituals?
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a theory on a ritual that it's believed that the Romans did. There's evidence of ritualistic dildos that were used by women before they got married. They would use the holy dildo to take their virginity before the wedding.
What?
It is speculated that they believe that this, God dildo, divine dildo, whatever you want to call it, would help ward off evil, and the ladies acts, I don't know. I guess it also prevents them accidentally losing their virginity beforehand if somebody, used just the tip line also. It's like, well, I didn't lose my first time that way. I did it by my terms. But essentially it was like, yes, here's the God dildo. Jam that up there, pop your cherry, boom. Good luck forever, I guess.
Weird.
But that was all in ancient times, where humans were barely done being monkeys. Let's take a look at medieval times, where the Catholic Church had a stranglehold on European culture. You might ask, what was the Catholic Church's thoughts about sex toys? Well, they believed sex toys were instruments of evil, and female masturbation was the most horrible sin. And I, personally, would agree with that. Anytime I'm watching the news and I see a story about somebody being murdered, and I'm like, yeah, but more importantly, have any women been diddling themselves? Let's talk about the real problems. That woman looks far too satisfied. She just shot her husband, but I don't care about that. She looked like she diddled herself. All right. As boring and stiff as the Catholic Church was and can be, they are a big deal to historians because they documented everything.
Uh-huh.
A lot of your primary sources that you get, especially studying European or Latin American history, which I focused on Latin American history when I was in college, your primary sources come from church sources most of the time. In the 7th and 8th centuries, so we're all in CE, AD, whatever you want to call it. We're in medieval times. In the 7th and 8th centuries, they had penitential manuals that told, the priests how to punish lesbian nuns that used toys on each other. Now I think about it, I think I've seen that movie. It's like Naughty. Yeah, it's like Naughty Nun Munchers Part 4. Or was it Part 2? It was one of those. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Part 3 was a snoozer.
The plot was amazing. Part 3 upset me. They didn't carry the story over. They're like, oh, we're going to do like this little side story over here. And I'm like, I don't care about those nuns.
Yeah, those are weird stories.
I want the lesbian nuns that I've spent at least 2 movies getting attached to. The Frankish writer Hincmar of Rheims said that since ladies can't penetrate each other, they use instruments of diabolical operations to excite desire. I can't help but think that if this guy was alive today, he would drive a really loud pickup truck that's all jacked up on giant wheels.
Oh yeah,
because he has a little dick.
Overcompensating. Yep, overcompensating.
He's like, it's not fair. They get to carve out big dicks. I was born with this tiny one. Another penance manual had this really fun question that it's just so fun that I'm choosing to read it verbatim. Have you done what certain women are wont to do, contriving a certain engine or mechanical device in the form of the male sexual organ, the dimensions being calculated to give you pleasure, and binding it to your own or another woman's pudenda? And have you thus committed fornication with other evilly disposed women, or they using the same or some other apparatus on yourself?
You say pudenda?
Yeah.
That's slang for pussy?
That was like more scientific back in the day.
Poon. Is that where the poon came from?
Pudenda. I don't know. I'm doing sex toy origins, not
slang term.
Slang, yeah.
Oh,
now, if I was still single, that question right there would totally have been one of my get to know you questions on Tinder. Because I also, the way it's written, I almost see like the guy like writing it. He's all like sweating and stuff at the thought of it. Like, oh God, were you wearing this? Did you do that? That's so hot. I mean, no, bread and water for 3 years, you know. And that's what the penance was in a lot of these cases, was like bread and water for like 3-5 years.
Wow.
In the 13th century, Bertolina of Bologna was tried for sodomy with other women. Her accuser claimed that Bertolina would use a dildo that had two silk testicles on her lady lovers.
What? Who puts testicles on their dildos?
I don't know. I'm wondering, do they add anything to the experience, or were they just decorative?
They add that.
But they're silk. They're silk. You're not going to get that noise at all.
They add a little soft touch then.
I guess it tickles, or I think it's decorative because women like having things that look neat and pretty.
Or put them underneath the Chevy.
She wants other women to look at her dildo and be like, "Oh my God, you got the one with the silk balls? I wanted the one with the silk balls. I got wool balls and they're just itchy." You okay?
Oh, I'm just getting a visual of them comparing them. Oh, I got this one. Oh, you got that one.
Oh, but yours are bigger than mine.
Oh, I wanted that one. You got the blue one.
What's all that black string on yours? Oh, I wanted it to remind me of Ralph. Anyway. Katharina Heltzedorfer, these fucking German names, of Speyer, was put on trial in 1477 after being accused of having a complex dildo made out of cotton, leather, and wood that she would use on the ladies. It is said that it did not just stand erect, but could be made to be flaccid, and she could even pee through it.
What?
Yeah. I don't know if these are accurate statements. You know, somebody could have just been making it up. But if it's true, this woman should have been a goddamn engineer. She should have been building dildos. She should have been building bridges.
Yeah, we would have had electricity way sooner if they had been concentrating on something else.
Yeah. She's like, no, I gotta tag me some bitches. I always wish I could like lose a boner. I mean, but that's only. I mean, it says that it was done. She could make it flaccid so that she could kind of like still have it on without it, you know, just being like this hard fake cock between her legs. But I'd like to think that she was also kind of a bitch, and whenever she'd see somebody ugly, she'd like flip whatever switch and just make it go. And that's probably the person that accused her and had her put on trial. She made her boner go down when she looked at me. If the various trials and rules I'm telling you about make everything sound boring compared to the ancient world, keep in mind, people kept breaking those rules. And they kept finding creative ways to do it. Our collective horniness cannot be thwarted.
Nope.
In the 14th century, the poulain shoe gained popularity. This was a shoe that it was like a normal, like kind of high heel that men wore back then. But then the tip was like this long, slender leather point.
Oh.
That their toes weren't in it. It was just there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not uncommon for a guy to wear these shoes and during a dinner have his foot up the skirt of the lady across from him. It was said that women would have multiple orgasms between the first course and dessert. And the ladies liked these shoes so much that it was known that sometimes they would use these poulain shoes on themselves back at home.
Why not?
Now, of course,
did they put their feet in it or just the shoe?
No, just the shoe. Now, when the guys were wearing it, their feet was in it and it was going up her skirt. And she would essentially decide how high she would let him go. But whenever the lady got home, he kicked his shoe off by the bed after, they did their thing and he went 2 pump chump, fell asleep. She'd reach over and grab that shoe and just drill herself with it. At least that's what happens in my head. History porn.
Oh, man.
Of course, the Catholic Church hated the poulain shoe. And Pope Urban V said the shoes were an exaggeration against good manners. I think that's debatable. Scoffing against God and church. And I'm like, dude, they're fucking shoes. Don't think God's up there. Why did my creations make such pervy shoes? Well, we're going to wrap this up at the Renaissance because after the Renaissance is whenever vibrators start showing up, and I'm going to hold that hostage until someone requests a part 2.
Okay.
Now, this is an important part of history because now this is the time where we actually get the term dildos. Pietro Arentino, known as the father of pornography after writing his very first sexy dialogue, referred to Olisbos as diletto. Diletto is the Italian word for pleasure or delight. Then the English took that and said, did he say dildo? I believe he said dildo, didn't he? And that's why we have dildos now. And you start seeing evidence of this with the poet Thomas Nash, who referenced dildo in his 1592 poem called The Choosing of Valentines, or The Merry Ballad of Nash His Dildos. Nash His Dildo. In that poem, the main guy, the protagonist of the poem, doesn't get the job done for his lady, so she whips out her dildo that she brags about how it does not bend and it is always hard as steel, and most importantly, it can't knock her up.
Well, you got a point there.
John Wilmot, Earl of Rochester, imported a bunch of dildos in 1670 for his sexual society called Ballers Club. I mean, I was kind of impressed. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, that word's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Well, English customs seized all the dildos and burned them.
Oh,
which
bastards.
I'm pretty sure that left the Earl feeling very, very empty. Get it? Because he doesn't have a dildo in his butt. Yeah. That joke made me feel a little dirty. He did fill that emptiness with poetry when he wrote the poem Signor Dildo. And Signor Dildo is all about women busting better nuts from a dildo than men. So it's like, wow, you go, Earl of Rochester.
We're going to have to read that poem.
No, I don't want to get all sweaty and hot and bothered in front of everybody. And that is where this naughty little dive in history is going to end, because, as I said earlier, the toys start getting higher tech after this. And if you want to hear this dumb guy talk about vibrators and whatever other sexual machinery from the past and a sequel, ask for it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to stop tainting my search history with all the sex toys.
That's great.
Oh, I mean, the search history's in this house. Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere. I do have one question.
Ask away.
A random question. I know we've gotten away from BC and AD. So what does BCE stand for?
Before Common Era.
Oh, so we got away from
before Christ
and after,
and Anno
after
Domini. Death. Yeah. But yeah, now it's before Common Era and Common Era.
How did we change?
I was indifferent on this change. I was kind of like, whatever. I mean, the change happened like right before I was in college, so I had to adjust, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay. Why was there a push to change? Because people didn't want to say God or Jesus is real? Pretty much, yeah. People get butthurt about that stuff. I mean, and I get it to a degree. It's kind of like the whole stupid thing with the 10 Commandments in classrooms right now in Texas. Uh-huh.
I mean, like me personally, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just not pay attention to it. But we are a very multicultural society here in Texas. We've got Buddhists and Jews and Muslims and everybody else. I mean, and granted, the Jews and Jews and Christians both share the 10 Commandments, which, if I remember right, though, Muslims are also an Abrahamic religion, but I don't know if they still hold any regard to anything written in the Old Testament or not. But what do I know? Either way, them putting it up in classrooms is just them just causing fucking problems just for the sake of causing fucking problems. Just seeing what they could get away with, yeah. Being assholes. Yeah, I didn't care either way. I could see why they would take it away because trying to keep church and state separated. Yeah. I get it. The state demanding that anything put up something church related is dumb. Now, granted, at least with the 10 Commandments, 8 of them are pretty, like universal. It's that whole like, thou shalt not worship any other gods before me. That's like, okay, that makes it where you can't use those in these things. Uh-huh. I don't know. I hate our politicians. I really do. I hate all of them. Both sides. They both suck in Texas. All of them suck. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other questions about sex toys or the great man debate or anything like that? Oh no, I cannot wait to do the editing and the clips and stuff to put in this one. This is going to ruin my search history. Yay! All right. Well, in that case, join us next time when Jason, if he's not in an inconsolable depression because his wife replaced him with a baby carrot, if he's feeling up to it, he'll tell us some things that'll make us say, wait, what? Yep. I should have made it more of a joke if he could get his dick out of his mouth long enough. He'll tell us. I should have went with that. Busy. I didn't even think about that. I should have said, yeah, if he get his dick out of his mouth long enough, he'll tell us himself, make us say we would. I like that one. Pretend like I said that. All right. I could say that. I could move it around. No, don't move it around. I want it all. All right. He heard it. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Waywut. This show's available on YouTube, Good Pods, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. We'd love to hear from you. Please comment on what you just listened to, pass along episode ideas, or just talk to us at Waywut Podcast in our Facebook group or on TikTok, Instagram, or X. Again, we really appreciate you joining us. Come back again to hear about some stuff that will make you say, wait, what?